What's up, Wednesday?
So,
Man, seemed like it took forever for this draft to take place, man. I just don't know what took place. And now that we're here, it is what it is, my man. What's going on? How you feeling?
nah, definitely, man. Same thing. It went by quick, and I like some picks. Some picks I question. It just seems like before the draft, it was we got to get bigger. We got to build. We need bigger players. We got to build from the inside out. And then,
Right.
like I said, like some of the picks I just questioned. Like it didn't seem like that, in my opinion.
You know, give it up for Danny. Cause Danny, I thought it was me for a minute, man. I really did. I was like, what are we doing? And and I'm like, I'm trying to make sense of it. Let me put this link up on here just in case anybody wants to get on here. Before I get started, I want to give a big shout out to all our followers and all those that subscribe to the Cowboy Huddle podcast. Again, like I always say, without you guys, this is absolutely impossible. So give it up for our subscribers and followers. But now I felt like that until I heard this here.
Hype music. They take all the people.
Let me get this. I want to start this. So I want to see if you heard this. And I was a little on that first pick. I was like, what we doing? I mean, guard. Okay, but tell me if you can hear this.
Got be like, man, I can't wait to play this football game today. They listen to their hype music. They take all the pre-workout. They get so excited to play football until they come across Tyler Booker. And then when I'm going after you, quarter after quarter, play after play, series after series, and I start to see that love leave their eyes. Like that's what makes me love the game. Like I just really love.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, you just got me right. Hey, you ready to go?
Well, I guess you know what that was from, right?
Yeah, it was Booker, Tyler Booker. I mean, listen, I like the swag. I like the attitude. I like the chip on the shoulder. That's something you can't coach. You either have it or you don't. My thing is only like at 12, you cannot convince me at all that Tyler Booker was BPA, best player available. You can't convince me. Because if you just see you should see the guards that went in round 2, we could have easily have gotten Ty Warren and still got Zach Martin's replacement in round 2. 3 to 4 good guards went. And so and a lot of those guards also had left tackle flexibility. They were left tackles in college and they were going to be thrown inside in the pros, where Tyler Booker only played 1 game in his career at left tackle. Listen, man, am I a little hard on the kid? Yeah, because that's my job. Because
Yeah.
you take a guard at 12, he better be Zach Martin. He better be. But it's like, it seems like trade back with, I don't know, the Rams? No, Rams or I forgot who. Houston. And they were only like a second. So to go from like 12 to 25, they were probably just trolling the Joneses because no one's going to move that far back for a second. But that also shows you, like, if the Rams would have threw in enough compensation, the Houston Texans, Dallas would have got out of that pick and moved all the way back. 805 on, thank you. So, it's like, listen, the kid is a monster. He's 6'5", 360. He was that big as a freshman in high school. He played freshman ball in New Jersey at Bergen Catholic. Then he went to IMG in Florida. Then he went to Bama. He played a lot of snaps his first 2 years, but didn't start his first year. Then the next 2 years, he started team captain, 35-inch arms, like 11-inch hands. He's a freak. He is. No, I'm not doubting him at all. But
Right.
Every other organization, when you get drafted, you have to go in and fight for your position, fight for your job. Dallas has already anointed him the starter at right guard. So, listen, it's like, we were all just a little bit down on it, but you look back at it, it's all right. He was my second running guard, so I can't.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. Because personally, I thought Brock Hoffman was going to be the guy that was going to probably fill in that position. So I'm like you. I'm like you, Danny. I was like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? 12 pick, we pick a guard. You know how I was thinking. I was thinking more of a skilled player. And I've been stressing that since the before the draft. But I was looking for a skilled player because there was so many different players out there. But at the 12 pick, I mean, who picks a guard that early in the round?
Like I said, if he turns out to be Zach Martin, they look like geniuses. If he doesn't, it's egg on their face again. Because there was better players available. But Dallas went into this draft with a hole at right guard and into this draft with multiple holes. Right. So listen, if I'm Brock Hoffman, I'm asking for a trade right now. I mean, because he's a restricted free agent. I thought, listen, he might get a chance to play. You don't wish injuries on anybody, but he can fill in at center and at guard. And this is his last year. We're not going to be able to afford him.
Yeah. And you know what? The thing about Brock Hoffman, man, I like the fact that he brought attitude to the team. And, he get in your face. Because we didn't have that on offense. Nobody on our offensive side of the ball would jump in somebody's face, and start, some mess with another player. But Brock was that guy. So I know he's scratching his head right now, man. And, right now they have him as the backup to Cooper Beebe. Wait a minute.
Listen, I've been thinking about that, just what you were saying. I'm glad you touched on it. The goal is to always get the top 5 offensive linemen on the field. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of moving Tyler Smith out to left tackle, especially in his contract year, because left tackles make a hell of a lot more money than guards. But if you had to put your best 5 on the field right this second, because a lot of people are bad-mouthing Tyler Guyton, stuff like that, and so right now, your best 5 might be Steele at right tackle, Cooper Beebe at right guard, Brock Hoffman at center, and then Tyler Smith at left tackle, and then Booker at left guard, his college position. There could be a scenario where that's the best 5 we have.
I don't trust that. I don't trust that either. Like I said, again, man, we said. We said Tyler Guyton out for a reason. We blamed it on injuries, but I think the organization realized that he wasn't ready. He just wasn't ready at that position. He missed a lot of reps when we scrimmaged against the Rams, and I hate the fact that he did, but, those were reps that he needed. But I just think the organization realized that he wasn't ready. And again, I've said it before, Danny. It's not easy to move a person from your weak side tackle to your strong side. You just don't move a person over like that. So that's a gap. It's going to probably still be a gap. I mean, what do you think?
Dallas feels like, they did it a decade ago with, Tyron Smith. So then, they think they can just do it again, where it's not like that. It's not. Especially a kid. He only started 13 games in college at tackle. And he had two starts at tight end because he went to Texas Tech and then Oklahoma. So that's like a red flag to me too, that he only started 13 games. But like when I graded him as a right tackle because that's all I saw from him. So
exactly. So it's still a project in progress. That's basically where we are. And then we got to talk about the turnstile. I know they probably thinking they might want to stroll away from this video today, this live stream today, because we're going to keep it 100, man. And I always say on this channel here, man, we are very unapologetic for what we say because we're Cowboy fans and we're going to talk about our Cowboys. But, we're just going to tell you, to give it to you raw and uncut. But the thing about it is, we got to talk about the turnstile on the right side. We talk about Terrence Steele. I mean, that's another project. I mean, again, but let me ask you this. So we drafted all these backups. I mean, I thought these were going to be key components. I mean, with the Rob Jones and the Sadiq Charles and these other individuals that we brought in. I thought that was going to play in as our veterans, and we was going to do the rest through the draft. That was my take, but maybe not. I guess that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I think those guys are maybe just camp bodies, and they're going to be gone. I mean, I think our depth is basically Brock Hoffman, TJ Bass, Awesome Richards, who's not awesome, probably Matt Lulesko. You know what I'm trying to say? And Johnny Cornelius, the offensive tackle we drafted from Oregon. You know, they're probably the backups now. And all those older guys we signed. Listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they just signed them to show the fans that they're trying, you know, but they were just like the running backs we signed in free agents. They were just camp bodies, you know.
Well, we're gonna get into the Amazing Creation. Got a comment. Amazing Creation. We're going to get right into that. We're gonna cover all these players, these undrafted free agents, the draft picks. We're gonna get into all that, Amazing. So I need you to stick around, man, because we definitely appreciate your comments, man, and your opinion on what we do and what we say on this channel. So before we go any further, let me bring in our guy, Cowboys champ. He's in the house. Give it up. There he is. What's up, man? How you doing,
hey,
brother?
how y'all doing, man?
We're doing great. We're just doing a recap, man. And I guess our first question was, and the first pick was Tyler Brooks. Give it up. So
I understand the pick. Trust me, because we need offensive linemen, but there's no way you're supposed to pass Ty Warren, a best tight end at that position, because yes, the wide receiver was gone, but you had 2-1 with Ty Warren. That was Dak Prescott, number one safety net, and the kid can block.
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
agree. 6'6", 260. That kid could have played 40 years ago. He's like a throwback kind of player, man. Looks for contact, man. So,
man, I am so glad y'all feel, because I'm just trying to making sense of this draft, man. And we're not trying to be doom and gloom, but I thought maybe we was preparing to win now. But to the way that this is set up, it seems as if we're setting up for the future. I mean, can you guys agree to that? I mean, so
yeah.
1,000.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because if you notice, they not only did they draft Booker, but they got another offensive lineman as well. But really, this whole draft was about needs, and that's what I hate. That's what I really want to hate about this draft, because the Cowboys, they overvalue certain players and overpay them. And then when you get to free agency, you don't pick up quality, you pick up quantity.
Yeah.
And then that's what I think about with this particular draft. So I'm not gonna get too far ahead, like you said.
No. And it makes sense. I mean, no, you're right, because I think when you start going for needs, you start reaching. And I think that's where we found ourselves. And nothing against, and you know what? Let me say this first, guys. We got to say congratulations to all these players. This has nothing to do with the players, but we've been fans for so long with that. I think we know this team. So again, with that being said, let's go back to when we did go for BPA. Where did Michael Parsons end up in our lap? Where did CeeDee Lamb end up in our lap? Because we went with BPA, best player available. So, and it worked. These two individuals changed the game. Two out of 10, or 2 out of however many we had versus what we just drafted. But those two players, they changed the game by themselves. So I was a little lost the way with this thing went down, man. It was kind of mind-boggling to me. So, you know, but hey, guys, let's get into this, man. I want you guys' opinion, and as far as the comments as well, you guys out there that's watching, we're going to go ahead and talk about these draft picks that we got. And like I said, the first pick was Tyler Brooks, man. And again, congratulations to Tyler Brooks, man. We definitely give him a big shout out for being here, part of the Cowboy organization. But one thing they did say about him is say, according to ESPN research, Booker had only 6 blown blocks on 740 blocking plays last season at Alabama. His blown block percentage was 0.8% and was the second lowest in the SEC to Florida Jake Slaughter among players with at least 500 blocking plays. So that's a key stat, guys. I mean, should we be excited?
You know what it is? In the last decade, Alabama produces all these offensive linemen. They look like Greek gods. They're humongous. They're chiseled. They can do everything. It just seems like, though, they don't transition well into the NFL. In the last decade, there's only been one Alabama offensive lineman that's been any good, and that's Landon Dickinson. And he was drafted like 7 years ago. And ironically, he had 2 blown knees. Philly took him, and he's been Philly's guard like for the last 6-7 years. Every other single Alabama lineman have been straight busts. The Titans took a kid last year, Latham. The jury is still out on him, but he only played 1 year. JC Cowboys Network, what's up? So all I'm trying to say is they have been putting out guys that just don't translate into the NFL. Like BYU, you can't get me to touch a BYU offensive lineman. In the last 50 years, legit, 50. And this guy played for the Giants in the 80s. His name was Billy Ard. That was the last good offensive lineman from BYU. So, and I know you scout the player, not the helmet. It's just I still can't get past the BPA where I still could have got a goon guard in round 2 because they were there. But listen, I'm just nitpicking because that's what I have to do and throw my pros and cons out there. But it wasn't a flashy pick, but I don't care. It was still in the trenches. So I tell the people we could have done worse. So
that's true. But like I say, it's a need, and we feel the need. I felt that they saw that Zach Martin, left, retired, so they just felt that we got to get a first round. So which that means he's going to have to start. There's no question about it. He has to start. He has to start. But with that being said, it seems like Cowboys champ. We've been doing this the last few years. We've been going, lineman, and then we come back in the second pick, defensive end. So which brings up a number 44 pick, Donovan is Ezeraku from Boston College. So it says that he's 6'2". He's coming out of Boston College, edge rusher. So what do you think about that, Cowboys champ, Donovan?
Myself personally, you could have got the other kid, the other defensive end from Marshall.
Mike Green
was the better between those two. Mike Green was the better choice. So again, I think that the Cowboys, reach. They did we got another reach. That's exactly what they did. The Mike Green, I think, like I said, I understand the pick because you need to fix that defensive lineman, both sides of the ball. But I would have chosen Mike Green or a defensive tackle with that second pick.
So Danny, what do you think about Donovan? I mean, he's a 6'2".
I like the kid. I like him a lot. He was my 10th ranked edge. But when Dallas went on the board at 44, when they went on the clock, I had 4 defensive ends ahead of Donovan Iwazuko from Boston College. Like Cowboys champ was just saying, I don't see this was one of the picks that I think went away from their blueprint because their blueprint was we got to get bigger, we got to get stronger. And there was plenty of edges still on the board that was 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". So, you had Mike Green, you had JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State, 6'5", 270. You had Landon Jackson, Arkansas. So listen, I get to pick it's trenches, and he has a crazy first step, and he's always in the backfield creating tackles, and he has crazy long arms. But like I said, I'm just nitpicking. But the one thing I don't like about him is every single one of our edges is 6'2", 250. He's 6'2", 250. Michael Parsons is 6'2", 250. Uh, who's the kid that we got back from the Redskins? I'm trying to think. Dante Fowler.
Dante Fowler
is 6'2", 250. Sam Williams is 6'2", 250.
Dante.
So it's just like they was afraid to get a traditional 4-3 edge like that 6'5", 6'6" type of deal, because they can get to the passer, but I don't know how they're gonna be against the run. But he was very productive in college, very productive, and he has the traits. Even though he's short, he has crazy arms. He's fast. He has long arms, and he's crazy fast. But that my only thing was, and that's more of an organization thing, not him, not on him. You can't blame the kid. Yo, your phone rings, you're gonna pick it up and say, "Yo, yeah, I'm coming." So I got no problem with that pick. I mean,
well, here's the deal, though, man. I mean, we brought Dante Fowler in for a reason. I thought. I mean, that was the whole purpose to put him in the rotation. And I'm guessing this is reason they're doing this. I guess there's going to be a high rotation with defensive ends. But I'm looking at this list, man. We have 8 defensive ends.
Yeah,
8.
I was looking at that too.
So it's like, we're talking about. Let me see. We got Marshawn Nealon, Dante Fowler, Peyton Turner. We brought in, and Legie Villain, I believe that's his name. Then you got Tyrus Wheat, you got Sam Williams, you got Donovan, and you got Michael.
Yeah.
So you would think this would be the year that Sam Williams and Marshawn Nealon steps out the box and get this major playing time, but we've been doing this the last 2 years that we've been drafting a defensive end. So I don't get the concept in that. And I mean, maybe you can elaborate a little bit on that, but I just don't get the concept on that.
I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000%. We need another edge. Absolutely, we did, because Fowler's on a 1-year contract. Sam Williams is going to be a free agent, and let's be honest, even before Sam got hurt, besides penalties, he really did absolutely nothing for the Cowboys but hurt us when he was on the field.
We picked him in the second round. We picked him in the second round. I mean, you pick our guy. We picked Sam Williams in the second round because we said, oh, he reminds us so much of Michael Parsons, but we haven't got any production out of him. So, man, this is crazy.
Well, I throw that back to the YouTubers that say, "In Will McClay we trust." So I don't know.
Well, that leads us to the next pick at round 3. Well, let me say this about him. So he Donovan led the FBS with 62 quarterback pressures when rushing from the edge last season. Also, that is, let me see with key stats, that basically his 16.5 sack last season tied the school's single season record with Harold Landry III, who joined the New England Patriots as a free agent this offseason. So those are some key stats. So I guess he will definitely be in the rotation. I mean, what do you think, Cowboy Champ? Will he be in the rotation this season, you believe?
Yeah, he'll be in the rotation. He'll definitely be in the rotation, but are the Cowboys are they going to want him to stop the run or go after the quarterback?
And that has yet to be question. Yeah, that's yet to be answered. But we'll have to see. So at round 3, at the number 76 pick, we have Shavon Revel Jr. out of East Carolina, cornerback. Give it up. All right, we'll start with you, Danny. What do you think about this kid that we just picked in the 3rd round?
He's a good player. He has good size. He has good length. My thing with him is he blew his knee out in September. So I personally, but this is the Dallas Blue Light Special.
Yeah.
We usually go with hurt guys in round 2, usually. But now this is round 3, we drafted a hurt guy. But this is a perfect example of when you have a general manager in Jerry Jones who's not afraid of getting who won't get fired, that's why he picks these players. But now if you were as a general manager off the street fighting for your job every single season, you're not taking this kid. But also it just shows you, like we said earlier, this is a Shannon Ravel from East Carolina was a player for the future. Because to me, especially at a skill position, I think knee injuries are a 2-year. Takes 2 years to fully recover. But that pick just shows you next year it's either going to be Diggs is going to be gone or Bland is going to be gone. And the fact that our entire cornerback room, besides the kid Elam that we traded for from Buffalo, but I don't like the fact that our entire corner room, every single cornerback is coming either off a knee injury, a knee surgery, or a foot surgery. So I don't know if that even came into their minds. You know, that's a bad scenario. You know,
what?
Listen, no, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I mean to cut you off, but this is the norm. I mean, let's talk about Leighton Vander Esch.
Yeah,
came in here with a damn near broken neck. Let's talk about Jalen Smith, drop foot. So this is something normal that we do. I mean, and you know, they say that the only reason this kid dropped is because of the ACL tear. Well, yeah, he probably would have dropped further if we wouldn't have picked him up. And I'm not taking anything from him. I'm not. And hopefully he'll come in and make a difference. But again, it's just basically you're dependent on a kid that we are not for certain about. What do you think, Cowboy Champ?
Like you said, nothing against this kid. I'm praying that he can recover from this ACL, and be productive. Solid, productive player. But I was on Fifth Quarter channel. Mm-hmm. I let out the biggest rant because not at the kid, but because of the general managers making a stupid pick like that. Because I'm like, you do not have a 4th round pick. We have to wait maybe 50 picks till you draft into the 5th round, and you chose to get a injured player, like what Savage said. Majority of the Cowboys cornerbacks have a ACL problem. I mean, as a matter of fact, you could have gotten a running back or a better defensive tackle at that position. Or maybe that wide receiver from TCU, Severe Williams. But I mean, you could have got a wide receiver, you could have got any position, but you chose to get a college player who has a bum knee. And to be honest, we really don't know if he's going to be any productive this year or not.
Yeah. Well, here's something that they said. They said he had 3 interceptions in 2 years as a starter at East Carolina. He also had 12 pass deflections in 2023. Says Rebel has the frame to match up against the receivers in the division. Clearly, the Cowboys do not have concerns about the knee. Wait a minute. Let me give it to him.
I don't even want to rush this kid back. Have we learned anything from the Overshown pick? I mean, injuries. Let this kid heal. You know, just like I said, man. Like he had it in September. He hurt the knee, and then he had surgery. So to rush him back for 9-10 months to rush him back for training camp, which means that you invested.
I don't
this
think
future. So let him heal properly and let him start the season off on PUP. And because if you rush this kid back and he blows his knee out again, he's pretty much done. Just let him heal at this point.
Yeah. Well, let's look at this cornerback room. We got Trayvon Diggs. We got Deron Black, Kalen Carson. Wait a minute. Kaiir Elam, Keon Hall, Andrew Booth, Luke Barku, and Bruce Harmon. So, and then we got, Josh Butler. in which Josh Butler did pretty good before he blew out his knee. So I thought Kalen Carson was going to be one of our guys. I mean, or this guy that we brought from Buffalo. So again, it's a mystery, Cowboys champ. That these decisions that we're making, but hey, who knows? And Keenan Jenkins, you are so right. You are so right. So I'm gonna say this about the doctor who did his surgery, is the team doctor, and he's probably the best in the world, Daniel Cooper. They give it up for Daniel Cooper because he did my son's ACL, and I'm telling you what, man, like he told us, that ACL be stronger than the original. But it takes time for them to believe in the knee, to trust the knee. And that's the biggest overcome, trying to trust the knee. So, but yeah, Dr. Daniel Cooper is the guy that performs those surgery. But yeah, that's where we are. So when we say that, we go right on to the next round 5 at 149. We bring in running back from University of Texas, Jaydon Blue. Let's talk about Jaydon Blue. Give it up for Jaydon Blue. Cowboys champ. You got your speedy running back from Texas. What do you think about that, brother?
My opinion, the best pick they had. Even the first 3 pick, to me, that was their best value pick. Now, he's not every down a running back. For one, he still got that disease called phomatosis. He got to get some shots for that. But back to him and the kick returner. What's the kid name?
Turpin. With
both of them with that speed. Oh my goodness! Because Blue can take it to the house, but you do not want to have Blue to be that bell cow, and we got that down the line. But yeah, he's the lightning that what we need.
Yeah. What do you think? Danny, tell us a little bit about this kid.
Listen, before the draft, I said Dallas has to come out of this draft with not 1, 2 running backs. I was very high on Jaydon Blue. He was actually my 15th rated running back. He had like 800 yards rushing, but then he caught like 43 passes for 400 yards in the receiving. So I'm like, and he's crazy fast. He ran a 4.38, and he plays to that 4.38. A lot of times the speed guys run at the combine, they don't match that on the field. This kid does. He has jets. But when I graded him in my notes, I put he's a change of pace, third down back, but he's someone that has to be used in a rotation. I like him a lot because sometimes you get also fast running backs, but they have stone hands. They can't come out of the backfield and catch a pass. So I would comp this kid kind of like Tony Pollard, that type of player. But I got the problem. He produced good in college. He's fast. He's just not a 3-down back, and that's why we took another one later on. But he's a good pick.
I think he's going, and what it reminds me of, I have to go because, guys, we got to remember, we don't know what this offense is going to look like. The days of the Jason Garrett, the Kellen Moores, and the Mike McCarthy's is over with. Now, that might work in our favor. But the thing about it, what this takes me back to, and the only thing I can really think about when I think about Jaydon Blue is when we played the Cardinals a couple of years ago, and they ran the ball damn near for 200 yards on us. And guess who was their running back? That Connor kid. The Connor kid, you guys remember, what's his name? Connor.
James Conner.
Yeah, okay. He played for Pittsburgh.
Used to play for Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he wasn't a big back, but I think Clayton Adams, he kind of likes those type of running backs because, man, he torched us. And so I said, okay, so this probably be the reason they're bringing in Jaydon Blue, because he's built like the kid Connor, and he's going, and way they run the ball, there's a lot of trap blocks and pulling. So, they probably want somebody that's quick that can hit the hole a lot faster. So, yeah, I think it's a great pick, but that's what comes to mind when I think about Jaydon Blue. I think, I mean, do y'all kind of get that feeling?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what it says right here about Jaden Blue said he played behind Bijan Robinson and Jonathan Brooks. But he had his best season in 2024 with 730 yards rushing and 134 carries for 8 touchdowns. He caught 42 passes for 368 yards and 6 scores. Give it up for Jaden Blue. Not bad. So that moves us on down to the. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he's a dual threat. He's a dual threat. You know,
Yeah.
catching the ball and running the ball. So you can't hate on him for that. It was a good pick.
For sure, for sure. I think so too. I mean, I think he's like you said. I don't think he'll be a every down back, but there'll be packages where he'll get in there. I think they'll have the thunder and lightning type running backfield. So it was just like I say, we don't know what this offense is going to look like, but we'll have to see. Is that me? Okay, maybe not.
So yeah, I'll be right back. I got a phone call coming in. That was me.
Okay, my
I'll
bad.
be back.
Okay,
I'll be back. I got a
Okay.
phone call coming in. Okay.
no, you okay? I will see you in a minute. With that being said, so we move on down to round 5, the second pick in the 5th round at 152. It's a linebacker from Florida. His name is Shamar James. So give it up for Shamar James. Danny, tell us a little bit about this linebacker.
Well, he dislocated his knee in 2023, so that's something to watch out for. 2024, he played decent, but he also had he had 800 pounds of defensive tackle in front of him between Cam Jackson, who I was really high on, and Desmond Watson. That was the kid who's like 460. But that was a pick that I didn't understand. Number one, we traded up to get him and gave up, I believe, a 6th round pick. We gave up one of our 5th rounders. We had 2 5th rounders. We gave one of them up to move.
Yeah.
I don't know. We either gave up a 5th or a 6th to move up
We
together.
gave up a 5th. I think we gave up, yeah.
But now they were saying how, like, okay, the linebackers we brought in free agency were all 245, 250. They were bigger guys. So I had better linebackers on my board. I had bigger linebackers on my board. And this kid is like 220 with quarters in his pockets. So this pick to me just did not make sense. And it seemed like what? Like that was more like a Dan Quinn linebacker. He ran a 4.7, the kid. So it's just like I said, some picks, it just seems like they kind of went away from the blueprint of getting much, much bigger and physical in the middle. But we shall see.
Yeah. It says he had 166 tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass deflection, and an interception. Backup linebackers have to be core special team players. So James will have to handle that role first. So yeah, we sure know that he will be a backup linebacker. But I watched his tape, man. I like him. I mean, he's tough. He's a tough kid, but again, I was like him, like, what are we doing here? I'm still kind of confused with these picks, but I listen to mainstream media now. When they tell me, man, this is a great pick, and I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe, yeah. And let's say this here, Danny. It is a great pick for the future.
Absolutely.
We can attest to that, but we need to try to build something now.
Yeah. No,
We're still looking for a wide receiver too, man. I mean, that's another thing we need to talk about. But before we get into that, round 6, number 204, we got this pick from the Lions, offensive lineman from Oregon, which is Johnny Cornelius. Give it up for Johnny Cornelius. Tell us a little bit about Johnny.
I like him a lot. 6'5", 320, right tackle for Oregon. He was actually my 9th rated offensive tackle. He was actually my 9th tackle. So to get him in round 6, that's crazy depth. To be honest with you, it's a possibility he's the right tackle of the future. It's a real
Yeah.
possibility. If Steele, shits the bed again, and if Tyler Guyton can step up at left tackle, this kid could slide right over, and he could be the starting tackle of the future. So that was a good pick. I like that pick. Great
Yeah.
value, round 6.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. Well, Kid Cowboy, you heard it first, so it might be 3 positive and 3 maybes. Give it up, according to Danny. Well, so what they have to say about him? So, let's see what they said. They said, let's see, they didn't really have much to say. Said Cornelius has started 50 games at Rhode Island and Oregon at right tackle, but he could move to guard. Wait a minute. The Cowboys want to be physical, and that's his style of play, but he needs some work. The Cowboys took Tyler Brooklyn first, blah, 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 blah. As they look to build their offensive line. Yeah, so but Cornelius
How many
could be.
guards do they want? How many guards do they want?
Damn, bro, I don't know, man.
I would
I don't
play
know.
him. I would play him at swing tackle. In my opinion, he's walking off the street being a better swing tackle than Matt Lewesko, in my opinion. Because he's our swing tackle, Matt.
So who does Matt Lewesko knows on that team? Because why? I mean, he's still here.
It's just the fact that when the Cowboys draft somebody, they hold on to them to this last second. And they just don't want to admit it was. Listen, Matt Lewesko came from a very small college, so to take that jump into the NFL, it's hard. Listen, who knows? Maybe Matt Lewesko comes out this year and starts pancaking people, man. But these young kids, we just got to see them in preseason and see how they perform. But in my opinion, I think Cornelius, when he walks into the Star, he's already way ahead of Matt Lewesko, and especially since he's played against so much better competition, especially this year when Oregon was in the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think he's probably going to be the swing tackle. I see probably Lewesko going to like. Good.
Yeah. No, I don't mean to cut you off, but Kid Cowboy says something. You never know who might go down, and I guess you need the depth. But I'm like you, Danny. I will use him as a swing tackle.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt. So,
no, absolutely.
I don't know. It just again, how many guards do you want? I mean, what is the blueprint? What is the blueprint with these
Cowboys? And then also, we have all these guards, and in my opinion, if you put them on the practice squad, I think a couple of them are going to get poached, in my opinion. Like, you can't put Brock Hoffman on the practice squad. Someone's going to take him.
No.
You can't put TJ Bass on the practice squad. Someone's going to grab him. So these guys have to, you can justify Bass, Hoffman as like a backup guard, center, those two. But you're going to have to put Cornelius on the – listen, I don't think anyone's going to snatch Matt Lewesko. But in the NFL, where there's so many teams have subpar offensive lines, that's something to think about,
Well, see, I thought that's what I was thinking. I thought Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass was going to be the next guys up. That was my thinking. I was like, well, got these guys here that, but again, we don't know what these coaches are thinking. We don't know what their schemes are. So, and I guess that's the only reason I can say they're not automatically just penciled in as the next starters.
But that's what happens when you get different coaches every year. The guys that are there are not their guys. And every coach has a specific type of player that they like and want to use. And when you have just a turnstile at the coaching, you never get a long chance to build up that kind of players. For it starts up top, man, with Jerry, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Keenan said Brock's not going to the practice squad. I don't think so either. You cannot send Brock.
You can't.
No, you can't. So we can forget about that. But again, we thought these were going to be the next individuals to step up in those roles. But this offensive line coach might be looking for something different. So which that leaves us to round 7. Now these two, I think we could talk about these two guys. At 217, we got defensive tackle from UCLA, Jay. Now I've heard this pronounced two ways: Toya or Toya. Toya, one of the two. So I don't know. So give it up for Jay. Fill us in, Danny. Give us
Listen,
a little update.
I love the pick. He's one of the island guys, and we all know the island guys are built different. He's 6'3", 345 pounds. He came into the season. As in the top 5 rated defensive tackles. He had a couple of off the field incidents which dropped him lower. But let me tell you something. He is a beast versus the run. Do not expect and don't expect him to get to the quarterback, but I'm perfectly fine with that. He's like they call him a trash can bucket of dirt. He's just someone.
Yeah.
Think about it. He's walking off the street into the Dallas facility, and he's 35 pounds heavier already than Mozzie Smith. So I just hope with him, though, there's no politics where he is flat out the better player, but he's a round 7 pick and he can't play over Mozzie Smith, who was a round 1 pick. I just hope there's no politics in play, but very solid pick. I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, Keenan Jenkins said it best. He's a run stuffer, and basically what he does, he keeps the containment of. He requires a double team, which frees up your linebacker. So that's something that we've been waiting on Mozzie to do. Something that we're going to continue to watch to see if Osa can do. But this is one guy now. He's going to beat you one-on-one. He's going to beat you. After looking at his highlight tape and looking at researching his kid, he's going to beat you one-on-one. So he's going to demand a double team, which that is what they do. They draw the double team to keep the guy from releasing downfield. So yeah, that I agree with you, Danny. That is a great pick. He said at 325, Toa can hold up some blockers and eat up space. He might have some pass rush abilities too, with 19 pressures last season, but he has just 3 sacks, and that's okay. You're not going to get the sacks when you're getting the double teams. Come on.
We just want to plug the middle. And he played a lot higher than 225. He was in the 340s. I'm fine with that. Just be clog the middle, let the linebackers run freely to the ball. That's your job. Exactly. That's it.
Exactly. I agree with you. Hey, before we go any further, we got our guy. He finally made it on here with us tonight. It's PR Cowboy. Give it up for PR Cowboy. Yay! What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Well, I'm glad you could join us. It's like somebody's getting ready for some vacation.
Yeah, man. I'm getting stuff ready, kind of get stuff off. So I'll be back in I'll be back in a week and a half. How's it going, man? How y'all doing tonight?
Man, we just talking about these draft picks, man. I guess you can fill us in what you think so far. We're already down at the seventh round. So what do you think about what you saw and our experience?
Well, I mean, you played the reaction from the first night, and then look. Okay, so I sat there and we were texting after the 3rd round, and after the 3rd round pick, I think that kind of set us off the edge a little bit. We're just like, okay. I didn't even watch the rest of the draft the rest of the way, but after I went back and looked at it, and I saw the rounds 5 through 7 go, okay, they did what we had talked about, right? Taking 2 running backs, even though we. And we, as you said, Danny, the kid from Clemson, he had him in the 5th round. We got him in the 7th. So okay, good deal, right? And the kid from Texas gives us a change of pace back, and it gives you your 2 backs. So that makes the 1st round pick. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do. This guy's a run blocker. This is what you're telling us you're gonna do. is you're gonna run these guys behind this offensive line, and what this coaching staff you've built. Okay, and I have to give credit, a little bit credit where credit's due, because I haven't seen where the Houston Texans, what they were offering when they were trying to move up.
Yeah.
But from what I understood, we were looking for twos or a first round next year. So from the sounds of it, we didn't take a cheap deal like we usually do and trade back. So gotta give them credit there, right? So just looking at it, okay, I settled down after we got our 2 running backs and the 2 D tackles and stuff. The sad thing about it for me is like, man, 5th through 7th round, like you always say, gee, they're there for a reason, and we're depending on these guys to step in here. Which, like I said, I hope all these guys ball out. I hope they come in. But I was like 3rd round, man. Caleb Johnson right there. You got a 2nd round grade on him. You get that running back, and then you get one of these other guys. Cool, you know. And the talk is like, oh, you know, Diggs might not be ready, but this kid had an ACL injury in September, right? So is he going to be? When is he going to really get to practice? So I think that's the most frustrating pick of them all, is that 3rd round pick for me. That's the most frustrating of the whole thing. But besides that, when they got their 2 running backs and going with their 1st round pick, okay, that makes sense. Let's mold this thing together to see. Now, it only makes sense if I see you out there throwing the ball 40 times a damn game, then those picks don't make no sense to me. So that's where it comes up.
Right.
But other than that, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with what we did overall.
Yeah, and that takes us down to our 239th pick, which is the running back out of Clemson, Phil Mafah. Give it up for Phil Mafah. I don't know about you guys, man. I like this guy, man. It says right here he started his final 19 games at Clemson and finished his career with 2,887 yards and 28 touchdowns. In 14 starts last year, he had 1,115 yards and 8 touchdowns. So, Danny, this kid.
Love the pick. I actually talked about him a lot before the draft because he was I talked about him and Jaquindon Jackson as the 2 top goal line backs. Jaquindon Jackson was from Arkansas. But Phil Mafah, 6'1", 235. I could be wrong. I think that's probably the biggest running back the Dallas Cowboys have ever had in their backfield. That's 6'1", 235. And he's sneaky fast. He doesn't look fast for a guy that big. And, you know, he wasn't playing at no smaller colleges, which we know we love to pick guys from like colleges, you know, Division II, Division III. No, he did it in the ACC. He's a big kid. You know, use him in a rotation with Blue or whoever has the hot hand or perfect. You bring him in the second half of the game because, in my opinion, we still have to get a 3rd running back. I don't think the 3rd running back is on our team. So we could probably get a 3rd running back.
Wait a minute.
But if you bring Mafah in the second half when defenses are tired and you just want to, and, you know, and they see that big dude in the backfield, they're just going to put their heads down. So, listen, man, I said we had to come out of this draft with 2 running backs, 2 defensive tackles. They did. I love the Blue pick, and I love the Mafah pick. I do.
And I went back to that, Danny, too. As soon as I saw those 2 picks, and when we went back, I went back to what you said about him, too, and I took that. And we talked about it leading up to the draft. We would like to see 2 running backs taken. Now, like I said, would I like to see one in the 2nd, 3rd, and then one in later? Yes, that's what I would have preferred. But I'm okay with what they did. Like you said, they beefed up the defensive tackle. You have to be able to make teams scared of the run game to have a chance in the pass game. I know everybody is saying receiver receiver, but the receiver is not going to make a difference if they're not threatened by the run game. It's not going to make a difference who's that receiver. So that's where we had to get to.
Man, we can only say that. Keenan said he's a nice power back. He'll get those tough yards, most definitely.
Yeah.
All right, we got Cowboy Up Podcast in the house. He said, I gave the Cowboys a C because they didn't address the wide receiver position. Yeah, that's so true. And again, we're still looking for that number 2 receiver, man. I mean, the rumors are right now, Amari Cooper. Hold on, let me get it to you. Anybody? I don't. Danny, why? Amari Cooper back in Dallas.
Listen, Dallas. This is their trend also too. Dallas loves retreads. Dallas loves either drafting a guy or trading for a guy. He goes away, then they bring him back. They're perfect for it, and it's amazing. We only signed, which I find crazy odd. We only signed like 10 free agents, but out of those 10 free agents, like 5 of them are wide receivers, and so they're really looking for a wide receiver. I just don't want to trade next year's 4th round pick for a wide receiver.
Yeah,
I just want my 4th round pick next year. But
look, here's the thing. Okay, like I'm okay trading a 4th, 5th round pick, but if you're in the mix for a postseason and you're trying to even make your team even better, to bring that guy that comes, as we see teams do year in and year out, that are playoff contention teams, and they go, send a 5th, 6th round pick for a guy, maybe it's a rental for the rest of the year, whatever the case is. That's the kind of aggressiveness I would like to see. Not the stuff we saw last year where we knew we weren't going nowhere, and we traded a 4th round pick for a guy that, he was on our board in whatever year it was, and he was a former 1st round pick. No. When you're in the mix, like we were 3 years in a row, 12-5, and we didn't make no kind of move like that to improve your team, that's when those moves you need to make when you're giving up 5th, 6th round picks to make your team better.
No, I totally agree with you. I agree. So now you guys know that we do have some undrafted free agents we're going to talk about real quick. But and there's a few that kind of stood out to me. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to run these names off, and you guys can tell me who actually stood out to you. We got a receiver, Josh Kelly from Texas Tech. Matter of fact, who was this? Blogging the Boys. They gave him a B for the Dallas picking him up. Trayshawn Holden from Oregon. He's a wide receiver. They gave him a B+ for bringing him in. Then there's a tight end, Rivaldo Fairweather out of Auburn. He's a tight end, B+. Then we have tight end Tyler Neville from Virginia. They gave him a C+. Then you have linebacker Justin Barron from Syracuse, which is a B. Then you have Elijah Clark from Syracuse, DB, A-. Safety Mike Smith Jr. from Eastern Kentucky, gave him a B-. Cornerback Zion Childress from Kentucky, gave him a B-. Cornerback Bruce Harmon, Stephen F. Austin, C. And they gave the overall grade for these undrafted signed free agents a B overall. So with that being said, does any of those names stand out to you guys?
To me, I was very high on Clark, the safety out of Syracuse. Nice size, 4-year production. He was actually my 15th ranked safety. Very deep safety class. So I like that pick. And then the kid Barron, he's okay. He's good. Yeah. There was another Syracuse linebacker, Marlo Wax, I was high on, but I could take the other kid also too. The Auburn kid, Mayweather, whatever his last name is. What I don't understand with him is he's like 6'3", 240. If I was going to comp him to an NFL player, he kind of reminds me of Isaiah Likely out of Coastal Carolina that plays for the Baltimore Ravens. But usually Dallas doesn't even look at a tight end unless he's 6'5", 6'6". So I just don't know how he fit. Well, listen, he's only an undrafted free agent, but like I said, I'm shocked we didn't bring any running backs in yet because I'm hoping they're gonna for like undrafted free agents. We didn't bring any defensive tackles in yet. I mean, listen, there's always diamonds in the rough, and unfortunately, the last few years we've gotten some really good diamonds in undrafted free agency. First day 3 of the draft. So I would just like to see, listen, it's not their undrafted free agent class is not done by far. So I'm hoping they bring some more. You know,
What
there's more more running backs even out there. It's ridiculous.
PR Cowboy? Did any of these undrafted free agents stand out to you?
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, he took it right away from me, the safety from Syracuse. I think if there's a guy that's going to maybe have a shot to make a name for himself and impress in camp, and I think it's this kid. And we, like you said, we do need safety help, and this kid can definitely has a chance to take that role big time and run with it. And we've had good luck, at least with one or two of these guys coming in, and boom, he helps this team right away. So that's where I'm kind of looking at also right there um, at the safety position.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna agree with Keenan Jenkins. This kid, man, Trayshawn Holden. Just like he said, he isn't a speedster, but he finds ways to get open consistently. I like that because I thought it was just me, but this kid, I think, he's going to give some guys a run for their money. I mean, Mingo and these other guys we got out there. So we have, who is this? We got wide receivers, Ryan Flanoy, which we thought he was going to step up. Jalen Brooks, Jalen Cropper, Jonathan Mingo. Now they got him listed as the number 2 receiver right now, along with then you have Cavante Turpin, Trayshawn Holden, and Kelvin Harmon as well. So again, that name Trayshawn Holden, if you haven't watched his highlight, this kid, he's something special. He can play inside and outside. So yeah, I think he might be somebody to watch. But here's the roster right here, guys. That you can see, our quarterback room is filled with Joe Milton and Will Greer. And we said we need a third running back, Danny, but there's your third running back right there, Jonte Williams. Give it up.
He's okay when he's not hurt. I want fresh legs. I'm tired of seeing Zeke and Dalvin Cooks.
Yeah,
I'm tired of seeing older guys back there. Get some youth.
And that's the reason why we said we needed to draft 2 running back this year, because we didn't need to do this repeat of last year where you brought in guys, Zeke and Dalvin Cook, and it didn't work. And you look like you're doing the same thing this year when you brought in Javonte and Miles Sanders, guys that are known to be injured. And that's why we said, hey, we need to draft 2 running backs regardless. And I'm with you. I think I'm okay. Now it could happen, injuries happen during training camp and you got to bring in another guy. But if not the 2 drafted guys with Javonte, you roll with those 3 for right now. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I feel like Miles Sanders is the odd man out, like Freeman was last year. So.
Yeah. Now, this is what I was going to say. Serotonin Cowboy just brought up something, and he is so right. John Steven, I was really high on John Steven. And I'm looking at, if you look at the tight end room, I mean, we're full, and we bring in more tight ends. I don't know what that's about. Why waste the talent when you could have brought, like you said, Danny, bring in some defensive tackles. You could have brought anybody in, but you bring in more tight ends. What reason? I don't know. But John Stevens started off good. You think he tore his ACL or something, and he never did make his way back. But Brevin Spanford is another one that looked pretty good. So, and I guess we can say Jake Ferguson will be our starter. But you mentioned something about that too, Danny, about Jake Ferguson's situation, because will we be able to afford him next year? And something you mentioned.
No way. We ain't gonna be able to afford him. Absolutely. No.
So that gave us every reason to draft Tyler Warren.
Yeah,
I agree 1,000%.
I agree.
Yeah. Kid Cowboy said, remember, we will see a lot of Deuce Vaughn in the preseason. Wait a minute. Yeah, this might be Deuce Vaughn's last ride, guys. I mean, it's going to be too crowded.
Drafting two running backs, I can't even. I mean, practice squad players, I'm guessing to do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no room. And then you just signed Cavante Turpin to a 3-year deal, so he's going to definitely be your special teams guy. So it might not be no room for him there as well. Let's look at this again, when we talk about these defensive end guys, I mean, we are so deep at defensive ends. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Can you guys see that? Do I need to enlarge that?
No, you're good.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
I just wish we had
that
the
is.
same. No, I was just
Say
gonna
it
say
again,
real
Danny.
quick. I'm just gonna say real quick. I wish we had that depth at defensive tackle, though. I wish we had. We definitely got depth on edge. And my opinion, I hope there's no politics involved. But if there's no politics involved, Jay Toya starts over Mozzie Smith. If there's no politics.
Yeah, of course. 100%. 100%.
He played at 345. Mozzie walks around like he's 305, 310 the max. This kid is just a bull, and you can double team him. He's still not getting washed out of the play. He's still going to be there. I just hope.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. Go ahead and finish.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, this is the thing. You know, we've been waiting on Mozzie. So, you know, Mozzie could be on that trading block. But, yeah, of course, I think Jay will take that spot. I mean, again, it's a competition. And we've been looking for that run stopper. So this could be the case right here. So, yeah, that's something to think about. But look at that linebacker.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cowboy.
No, I'm saying if you look at it, if you're able to play with some kind of a lead and you're forcing other teams to pass, you look at the edge. That's their strength right there, right? That's what you want the team to do, to have to throw the ball and us rush the passer. But that's where it's gonna play at, where we're gonna have to run the ball ourselves and make them in pass mode.
Yeah, but you know what I think what's going to be looking. Go ahead, Cowboy Champ.
I got a question. Okay, Jay Tola. Do you think my personal opinion, I think he should be able to beat out Mozzie for that nose tackle position.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. I agree.
And then as far as I'm sorry. Oh yeah, and one thing.
Go ahead.
As far as Marshawn Nealon, I will go ahead and put Dante Fowler at the starter versus Marshawn Nealon. Marshawn Nealon, to me, he's more of a run stopper instead of the pass rusher. But
yeah, for sure, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at over the list right now.
Well, let me throw this in here, and before we finish up, I'm looking at this linebacker room, and I'm gonna tell you one I do like, that Kenneth Murray Jr. If you haven't pulled up he's scary, man. Danny, this guy's scary. I'm sliding to the ground, man. If the guy comes running at me, I'm running out of bounds. I'm going to take a knee. I'm not going to get hit by this guy. So I'm looking at Kenneth Murray Jr. I'm looking at Jack Sanborn. And I'm looking at who is the other kid? I'm missing.
Look at
damn.
Got
to wait on DeMar. Maurice
Lewfow. Yeah. I mean, listen, Kenneth Murray was good when he was at Oklahoma. He's bigger than usually the linebackers Dallas drafts, but they traded for him with the Titans, so I'm okay with that. But from 2019 to 2025, that's a lot of time. So I don't know if injuries or he slowed down. And then Sanborn, let me tell you something. He played for Wisconsin, but the Chicago Bears fans were crying when they lost him. They wanted him back. He's
they did.
Little type of player, but the Chicago fans were bitching. They were bad. They couldn't believe they let him go. So I'm okay with those two big linebackers in the middle, because let's be honest, what does Detroit do? They play bully ball. What does San Fran do? They play bully ball. So you got to have these big monsters in the middle. I'm sorry.
I totally agree with you. I agree with you. So it's going to be something to see, man. We're going to see If that's what, how they're going to, again, man, we don't know anything about what this team is going to look like. We really don't. We don't know what the offense is going to look like. That's the only thing I'm really ready to see. I want to see what this offense is going to look. If it's going to look any different from what we've been seeing, I kind of got an idea what Eberflus like. We know he runs the 4-3, but I mean, so guys, what are you guys looking for before we get out of here? What is it that you're looking for now that the stage is set? What are we looking forward to now? Starting with you, Dan.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I still hope there's, we sign another good 10. Usually, like around this point, the teams hold like a private workout where they'll invite like 30 kids in to work out for the team. So I'm just hoping Dallas signs another 10 to 15 players, a couple along the offensive line, a couple along the defensive line, a couple of running backs, because we always seem to find gems on undrafted free agency. And a lot of teams have already signed 20 to 30 players already. So I don't know why they only signed 10 unless, do they want all their starters to play in preseason? It doesn't make so. I don't know. But I'm hoping they just sign more free agents because we usually hit on them. And, injuries have not even happened yet. So it's always great to have depth on your team. In case you have an injury during preseason, you can say, okay, you're it. Next man up. Instead of having to wait for the final cuts and then, put in a claim for somebody.
Yeah. Facts. Cowboys champ, what are you looking, now that the stage is set, what are you looking forward to now? I mean, what is it?
We can still improve our safeties. Malik Hooker, man, that's to me that's one of the weaknesses we have on this team as well. Besides the wide receivers outside of the name of Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, the safeties. We need that bookend, man. The center fielder, but
yeah. And you're probably right about that, but it's hard for me to say right now because, again, we have to see what Eberflus' defense look like. They might fit his scheme. They might not fit his scheme. We don't know. So, and I was just thinking about Shamar James, who he reminds me of. He kind of reminds me of the Marquise Bell when I look at his highlight. He's one of those type of linebackers. But, again, I think my biggest thing is just trying to see what this offense is going to look like, but I would like to have some key wow factor players out there to complement CD and we see what this backfield look like. So, yeah, I'm a little curious of what that's going to look like. So, yeah, hey, well, guys, listen, I appreciate you guys coming on. I know they held you guys over an hour, but this good talk that we do about the Cowboys and everybody that's out there. Make sure you hit the like button for us right now and check us out on Saturdays, and we'll be on Monday night mic'd up and things like that. But this is when we do our live show is on Wednesday night. What's Up Wednesday? But again, guys, thank you, Cowboys champ, Danny Savage, the draft guru. We thank you for gracing us with your presence, brother. And we're gonna do this again. So, so any last words? I got any last word before we get out of here?
Anybody that wants to, they can find me on YouTube, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. Right now, I'm in the middle of breaking down all 32 teams. By next week, I'm going to be starting to break down and do previews of kids already for the 2025 fall season and the 2026 draft. It's a never-ending process. It's a 12-month out of the year job to do the draft. So,
yeah, I can find me on YouTube. Okay.
Go ahead, Cowboy Champ. Tell them where they can find you, brother.
You can find me on YouTube, Cowboy Champ, but my name is Clown Boys due to the fact that Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and Will McClay got the clown face and the red nose. Until Jerry and Stephen step down, they will continue to be the Clown Boys.
Well, you heard it first, guys. Appreciate you guys tonight again. And with that being said, like we always say, continue to stay safe. Be blessed. Deuces.